There's a nest up here. You may be able to see it. You may be able to see a bird in it. This is a pine warbler in a pine tree, appropriately, right at the crotch of this intersection of where some branches come together. You will see a mass of needles and rootlets. Just a brown lump, perhaps, is what you might be noticing in this video. But there's a bird's head sticking out of that nest. And it's just about time for the changing of the guard. The male just poked its head around the nest saying it's time to get off and let me have a turn. So the female, I believe it's still the female on the nest, is just hanging tight. It's windy. You'll see this tree swaying around. Whoa. I'll let that gust settle things down and I'll show you what I'm looking at here. This is a big pine tree, maybe the biggest one in my backyard. And way up there is a tiny pine warbler sitting on eggs. I'm Phil Brown with New Hampshire Audubon, and I'm coming to you again searching for nests in my own backyard. So I'm taking you on a tour of nests all throughout the next several days and weeks. We're looking at right now the pine warbler, which is the first warbler that returns to New Hampshire in the spring. This pine warbler, presumably this pair, the male arrived first. The males arrived first. The male here arrived on April 2nd. So here it is, May 28th now that I'm doing this video today, almost 2 months later, and they're only now sitting on eggs. So it's taken a while to get things underway. We've had a little bit of a delayed spring, but it's not unusual at the end of May to have lots of birds sitting on eggs. And some of the eggs are starting to hatch depending on what species it is. So perhaps I've shown you woodpeckers already. You may be able to catch some of the other videos on our YouTube page or our Facebook page. But this pine warbler, let me give you a look in the book here. First, I'll take one more glance as to what's going on. Yep, female still on the nest. I'll let you see that as I find it in the book. I know it's a female because she's a lot more pale than the male. The male has a bright yellow coloration. The head of this female is a rather subdued color. So here's the male. Here's the male pine warbler. Oops, sorry. A beautiful bird, lots of bright yellow overall. The yellowish on the head and neck would be apparent compared to the female. So that's how I can tell that we're looking at the female on the nest. The bird also has 2 white wing bars. It's about 5.5 to 6 inches in size. This is a bird that's more or less exclusively in the U.S., slightly into northern Mexico and slightly into southern Canada, but really an eastern U.S. specialty, like many of the warblers. Here's an image of the female, by the way. You can see how drab she looks, more sparrow-like in color than warbler-like, but really typical of females to be a little more subdued in color. After all, they're the ones doing most of the incubation for many of the species. They're staying with the nest more. They need to keep a little more secretive. So let's have another look in here. I'm not hearing the warbler sing right now, but pine warblers do have a very distinctive ringing song that they give all through the spring and summer. It's a rather short and simple warbler song compared to many. Again, this nest here, you could see the bird moving its head around. I was really pleased to find this nest just the other day. The first one that I've ever been able to locate on my property. And really, they probably nest up there in that tree every spring, but I don't know about you, but I'm spending a lot more time looking at things a little closer to home this spring. And this is one of those silver linings of not being able to be here, there, and everywhere like I usually would be. So hopefully you're having the same chance to connect with birds locally in your backyard or a favorite nature preserve. So there's a lot to learn when you slowly watch birds and follow them and understand them. They'll teach you many things about the natural world. So I wish you good luck in your nest searching, and continue to follow our nest searching videos here, and videos that are upcoming on our website at www.nhaudubon.org. Also check out our Facebook page, New Hampshire Audubon, and also look for us on YouTube. Until we're able to be in person again on field trips, I wish you happy backyard bird watching. Oh, the bird just flew off the nest. Here comes the male. Oh, that was good timing. Oh, look at this. That bird may be feeding young after all. So that male just came in with a bill full of food. Fantastic. We probably have young pine warblers in this nest. All right. Here's to birds. Happy bird watching.